Did you know lions don't waste energy proving dominance? They stay calm, and the entire jungle already knows. Same thing happens with people. The most powerful person in the room is rarely the loudest. It's not the one arguing harder, not the one proving a point, not the one demanding attention. It's the one who stays calm when everyone else loses control. Think about that moment. Someone insults you, disrespects you, or pushes your limits. Your heart races, your mind fires back with the perfect comeback. You want to react, but the person who doesn't? They win. Not just that moment, but the long game. Because emotional self-control isn't just about staying calm, it's about quietly rising to the top of every social hierarchy you walk into. The hidden rule of power. Most people misunderstand power. They think it's about dominance, charisma, or being the smartest person in the room. But in real social environments, workplaces, relationships, friendships, power is something much quieter. Power is control. Not control over others, control over yourself. When someone can provoke you and you react instantly, they've taken control of your emotional state. That means even if you win the argument, you've already lost the power dynamic. But when you pause, when you stay grounded, when you choose your response instead of reacting impulsively, you send a completely different signal. I'm not easy to shake. And people notice that, even if they can't explain it. Why most people lose this game? Here's the truth. Most people are walking around emotionally dysregulated. They snap when stressed. They shut down when hurt. They over-explain when anxious. They lash out when they feel disrespected. Why? Because for many of us, emotional regulation was never taught. We grew up in environments where emotions were either explosive or suppressed completely. So we learned survival patterns: stay quiet to avoid conflict, overreact to feel heard, people please to stay safe, or explode when the pressure builds too high. None of these are control, they're reactions. And reactions are predictable. Predictable people are easy to manipulate, easy to dismiss, easy to outrank in social hierarchies. The psychology of calm authority. Let's break something down. When you remain calm under pressure, three powerful things happen. First, you create uncertainty in others. People expect emotional reactions. When they don't get one, it throws them off. They don't know how to read you, and that gives you an edge. Second, you signal internal stability. Calmness communicates confidence. It tells others, I don't need to prove anything right now. Third, you control the pace of interaction. The person who reacts fastest loses control. The person who responds deliberately sets the tone. This is why in high-level environments, corporate leadership, negotiations, even elite social circles, the calmest person often has the most influence. They don't chase control, they embody it. Emotional control versus emotional suppression. Now here's where people get it wrong. Emotional self-control is not about shutting down your feelings. It's not about being cold, distant, or unbothered all the time. In fact, that's just another form of imbalance. Real emotional control means you feel your emotions fully, you understand them, but you choose how and when to express them. There's a big difference between I'm not affected and I'm affected but I'm in control of how I respond. One is denial, the other is power. The social hierarchy effect. Let's talk about something subtle but real: social hierarchies. Every group, whether it's your workplace, your friend circle, or even your family, has an unspoken structure, and one of the biggest factors that determines where you stand is this: how emotionally stable you appear under pressure. People naturally gravitate toward those who feel safe, grounded, and predictable in a calm way, not in a reactive way. Think about it. Who do people trust during conflict? Who gets listened to when tensions rise? Who do others look at before making a decision? It's rarely the most emotional person in the room, it's the most regulated one. The cost of losing control. Let's flip it. What happens when you lose emotional control? Even once? You say things you regret, you damage your credibility, you give others leverage over you, you reinforce a version of yourself you don't respect. And here's the harsh truth. People remember emotional instability more than they remember intelligence, kindness, or even talent, because unpredictability feels unsafe. And in social hierarchies, people don't elevate what feels unsafe. The pause that changes everything. If there's one skill that separates emotionally controlled people from reactive ones, it's this: the pause. That small moment between stimulus and response. Someone disrespects you, pause. You feel anger rising, pause. You're about to defend yourself, pause. That pause is where your power lives, because inside that space you can choose to stay silent, to respond calmly, to disengage entirely, or to address the situation without losing yourself. Without that pause, you're just running emotional autopilot. Practical ways to build emotional self-control. This isn't something you're born with, it's something you train. Here are a few ways to start. First, name your emotion in real time. Instead of reacting, say internally, "I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling disrespected." This creates distance between you and the emotion. Second, slow your body down. Your physiology drives your reactions. Take a breath, relax your shoulders, lower your voice. Calm body means calmer response. Third, stop trying to win every moment. Not every situation needs a reaction. Sometimes the most powerful move is no move at all. Fourth, practice delayed responses. You don't have to reply immediately. In conversations, texts, or decisions, give yourself time to respond intentionally. 5. Build emotional outlets outside of conflict. Journaling, exercise, or even talking to someone you trust helps you process emotions so they don't explode at the wrong time. Why this changes your life. When you develop emotional self-control, something shifts. You stop feeling like life is happening to you. You start choosing how you show up. You become harder to manipulate, easier to respect, more stable in relationships, more influential in groups, and the most powerful part, you start respecting yourself more, because you're no longer at the mercy of every emotion that hits you. Final perspective. Emotional self-control isn't loud. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't try to prove anything. It doesn't need validation. It just shows up consistently, quietly, powerfully, and over time people notice. They trust you more. They listen to you more. They value your presence more. Not because you forced it, but because you mastered the one thing most people never do, yourself. So the next time you feel triggered, the next time you're about to react, remember this. You're not just choosing a response, you're choosing your position in the social hierarchy. And sometimes, the quietest response is the most powerful move you can make.